Marcy sat in the dimly lit workshop, surrounded by the familiar scent of oil and metal. The sound of her father's work filled the room as he meticulously crafted another intricate mechanism. She gazed absently at the gears strewn about the room, each one with its own unique purpose, just like the people in her life. For years, she had worked alongside her father, creating machines and devices for the small village they lived in. The humdrum of their routine left her feeling unfulfilled and restless. Marcy couldn't help but feel as if she was meant for something more. The same village that her father so diligently worked to protect and care for only served to suffocate her. The same faces, the same problems, the same solutions, day in and day out. It was a cycle she longed to escape from, but didn't know how. All she knew was that she yearned for something different, something that would give her life meaning and purpose. Her father, a man of few words, had always been a source of comfort for her. He had raised her in this small village, teaching her the ways of crafting machines and devices. However, Marcy yearned for more. She wanted to explore the world outside their haven, to see what lay beyond the horizon. But her father had always been against her seeking more from life. He believed that their village was a safe haven, protected from the dangers of the outside world by the tall, imposing walls that surrounded it. Marcy was lost in thought when her father broke the silence. "Marcy," he said, "I want you to interface with the machine." She was taken aback. The machine was a legendary entity, whispered about in hushed tones throughout the land. It was said to be a vast entity, created by pooling together all the data of every person in society. It was a place where one could find answers to their deepest questions, but it was also a place that many feared. It was rumored to be located far from their village, deep in the heart of a sprawling metropolis. Many had adventured there, but few returned, their minds forever changed by the experience. Marcy looked at her father, wondering why he would propose such a thing. She knew he feared the dangers of the outside world, so why would he want her to face them now? Why now? Marcy asked, her brow furrowed. "You've always warned me against the dangers of the outside world, and now you want me to seek answers from this machine?" Her father sighed, his eyes gazing into the distance. "I've heard stories, Marcy," he said, his voice low and intense. "Stories of people who have interfaced with the machine and have come back changed. Changed in ways they never thought possible. They have found answers to their questions, found a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging. I want that for you. I want you to have a chance to find what your mother couldn't." Her father looked at her with a mix of sadness and determination. "Your mother, she was a lot like you. She longed for adventure and a meaning. I couldn't provide that for her, and she left. I don't want the same for you. I've saved up enough money for us to travel to the machine. I'll come with you, make it a grand adventure." Marcy's mind was a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. She remembered the day her mother left like it was yesterday. It was a warm summer morning, and Marcy was playing outside when her father came to her with tears in his eyes. He told her that her mother had decided to leave, that she needed to find her own path and fulfill her own dreams. Marcy was devastated. She was just a child, and she didn't understand why her mother would leave her behind. She felt abandoned and alone, like she wasn't enough for her mother to stay. As she grew up, her feelings of anger and resentment towards her mother only grew stronger. But at the same time, Marcy couldn't shake the feeling that her mother's departure was somehow connected to her own restlessness and longing for something more. She was torn between wanting to understand why her mother had left and fearing that she too would someday abandon those she loved. Now, as her father proposed traveling to the machine, she felt like her own fate was being decided. "I don't know," Marcy said, her thoughts in a jumbled mess. "I don't want to follow in her footsteps, but I also can't keep living like this." Her father sighed. "I understand. It's not a decision to be made lightly, but I ask you to consider it. The machine holds knowledge beyond our comprehension. It's said to have answers to questions that have plagued humanity for centuries. But with great power comes great risk. We've heard stories of people who've entered the machine and never returned, or worse, returned as a shell of their former selves. I can't promise you that interfacing with the machine will bring you the answers you seek, or that it won't bring you harm. All I can do is warn you of the dangers and implore you to weigh the risks before making your decision." Marcy's father paused, looking at her with a mix of worry and hope. "I won't force you to make this journey, but I'll be with you every step of the way, if you choose to go. I may not know the outcome, but I have faith that together we'll face whatever may come." Marcy looked around the workshop, at the familiar tools and devices. She was torn between her desire for a greater purpose and the safety of her home. But her father's offer of adventure and the promise of answers was tempting. She slowly nodded, still uncertain, but willing to take the leap. "Let's do it," she said, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and excitement. Her father smiled. "Good. We'll leave tomorrow. Prepare yourself. This journey will change us. I just hope it will be for the better." Marcy spent the rest of the night in restless thought, wondering what the future held. She was scared, but also filled with a sense of mystery and anticipation. She didn't know what the machine would bring, but she hoped it would provide the answers she so desperately sought.